be like, oh, get this plugin. No, get this plugin. You need 5,000. Do you know what? You need like 5 fucking plugins and that's it. Okay. You don't need all this shit.
So basically on my YouTube channel, I have a series called 5 Things Producers Need to Know. So let's get your 5 things that producers need to know. Number 1.
First thing producers need to know is consistency, practice, and I've put versus lazy. So keep practicing in the studio. You always can get better by practicing and learning off YouTube. So my point is the learning is never done. That's the first thing you need to know. It's never, ever. You'll never just be like, this is my sound. That's it. You're always going to be evolving. So don't get so hard on yourself. If the track that you fell in love with this month isn't the track you're in love with next month, and you listen back to your music and go, oh, I don't like it as much as I thought it did. What's wrong with me? It's not as great. That's not the case. It's just that you're constantly evolving. So consistency, practice in the studio. The second tip that's really important is always go to the studio with a playful attitude. If you walk in there and you put that pressure on yourself that you've got to make a hit, you'll get what I call musical impotence. And what will happen is that you'll just be so weighed down with making a hit instead of coming from a playful place that you'll just feel really stressed and pressured. And then it will become a place of not fun. And then you'll start to have that anxiety every time you go in the studio. This is easily remedied by just making a track and then saying, okay, I've run out of ideas now. This is as far as I want to go today. Put it aside, put it in that folder of start great song ideas, and then start something else or practice on one of your instruments. Like maybe you want to learn how to make a sample or do something different just to get the juices flowing. So don't worry if you get stuck. That's how you get over writer's block. The third thing to know is there is no right way to make music. Just because someone on YouTube says this is the door you should use, this is the way you should do it, and then someone else says that can be confusing. Find what works for you. Stick to one door, learn it inside out, backwards, forwards. That's really, really important because, you get confused. You learn one thing, then you learn another, and everyone will be like, oh, get this plugin. No, get this plugin. You need 5,000. Do you know what? You need like 5 fucking plugins and that's it. Okay. You don't need all this shit. I made that Kate Bush track with very, very little. I tell you, Ableton, native stuff in Ableton, and maybe 3 or 4 plugins. And I only use Serum. That's it. So you don't need to like have all these and spend all this money. So that's the third thing, I believe.
4.
Always A/B your tracks, okay? The best way to know if your tracks are great is to put your favorite track that you're trying to this is what I aspire to, I want to be as good as this track, put it in your DAW, line it up, and that will help you in many ways. Your arrangement, for example, you can put locators and copy the arrangement, then remove the track and you've got that nice little template for all your arrangements. You'll always get the correct arrangement. Arrangement is key, right? And secondly, you'll be able to listen to that track and see how your track stacks up. Do you know what I mean? Not in the sense of mastering, because that's the last step, but in the sense of is this as good? And the fifth thing and the most important thing, and Moisin taught me this, believe it or not, because you're never too old to learn new tricks. Always, always, always play your record on the decks before you go send that off for mastering or you master it yourself. So what I do is I make the record and then I go on the decks and I see, is it mixable? Is it working for me as a DJ? And then I put it next to my favorite 2 tracks. And if I play it and it drops wicked after my favorite track, I'm like, aha, this is good. But if I play it and it's sort of my energy goes down, I'm like, oh, this is shit. I have to go back to the drawing table. Those are my 5 do's for producers.
Amazing. That last one we've never had, and that's an absolute G. My days.
The biggest thing that changed my production. It's the one single bit. That's why I'm forever grateful to him, because it is the biggest thing that changed my production. When I actually played my tunes that I was making as a DJ before I sent them off to be finished, I was like, oh shit, I can't hear the hat good enough. I can't mix this properly, or the arrangement's not dropping right, or it just doesn't feel good after this wicked tune that I've just played. And that's really how you know if you that energy, that little, your insides will tell you when a tune is great and when it's not. But when you're DJing it sounds totally different to when you've got the headphones on. And by the way, invest in good headphones. These are my clear focals. They are expensive, but they have changed my production as well. So invest in good headphones. Tip number 6. And because I don't use speakers, I just literally do everything in my headphones. Play it out when I'm DJing it, and that's it. So yeah, hope that helps.
It did massively. Surround sound, the shed has come full circle. Yeah, do you know what? You're right. Surround sound basically said the shed has come full circle. The last big advice in an interview from a previous shed head. I agree with you. That's Moisin is a previous shed head, and I love that. I love that we just finished on that tip. Amazing. Watch this video next for more tips for DJs and producers, and consider subscribing so you get these videos first. I have been Graham Farmer, and thanks for tuning in this week. See you next week. Bye-bye.